The ghost of Kyiv, real or imaginary? Let's take a look on Taking Off. Hi everyone, Dan Milliken, and I'm going to try and power this out before the info becomes just too obsolete. The air war around Ukraine is changing rapidly. Just since I've started researching this, it's changed significantly in the hours. So let's go to it. On February 21st, 2022, Russia officially recognized two self-proclaimed states on the eastern side of Ukraine as independent. 3 days later, Russia launched a full-scale invasion. Since this is an aviation show, one thing I see in the social media feeds just about all the time right now is all about the famed ghost of Kyiv. Is this for real? Or some Microsoft flight sim clips, the machinations of a 13-year-old in some basement somewhere? Or the propaganda of a nation spread for morale? In this episode, let's dive into what we know and what we don't about aviation in the Ukraine. Now, one side note, an asterisk, we're going to talk about airplanes and flying over an active battlefield. No airplane is worth a single human life. So when we talk about aircraft tragedies, don't for a second think that we're putting that above the tragedy in human life occurring right now in Ukraine. Okay, here we go. Aviation in Ukraine. Video started circulating the first day of the invasion, primarily this one here. You see one fighter flying higher while another one zooms past just over treetop level. At the same time, a possible Ukrainian pilot of a MiG-29 supposedly shot down 6 Russian fighters during the first day of the invasion. If so, he'd be the first European ace since World War II. And let's start with the name they're calling him, Ghost of Kyiv. And just like a ghost, we're all wondering if it's real or not. The Ukrainians named him that first day as the Ghost of Kyiv, and then this fighter video posted on Twitter, and that quickly garnered millions of views, and the name just spread faster than wildfire all over the globe. Okay, it has certainly been a much-needed morale booster for the people of Ukraine. But what about the report of the 6 kills? Okay, these are listed as 2 Su-35s, 1 Su-27, 1 MiG-29, and 2 Su-25s. And diving into this information, I can trace it back to an Eastern European small news outlet called Visegrad24 and a tweet with the 6 kills. But I can't confirm this with any other news source or real evidence. Also take into account Ukrainian Commander-in-Chief Valery Zaluzhny has said that he could only confirm 6 total Russian planes downed in that first day of fighting. Still, 6 could be possibly accurate, but it looks like a long shot. And then on February 27th, the Security Service of Ukraine confirmed on their Facebook account that the Ghost of Kyiv had now shot down 10 aircraft. All right, this is currently the only source of that news and has not been independently confirmed or denied by any secondary source. I just don't know. And honestly, it's getting harder and harder to believe what you see on social media. I know, it's stunning. Now let's take a look at the MiG-29, named the Fulcrum by NATO. This is a twin-engine jet fighter, ironically designed by the Soviet Union before their collapse in the late 1970s. It was designed to counter the U.S. F-15 Eagle and the F-16 Falcon. It entered service in 1982. The design was originally meant for air-to-air dogfighting, but is commonly outfitted for air-to-surface attacks. The Mikoyan Corporation still produces these airplanes, and over 30 nations use them. According to one source, the Ukraine Air Force had 210 military aircraft, with 98 of them being combat planes. At the end of the day, although I would love for the rumors to be true, and some legendary pilot is, kicking butt over his homeland in Ukraine, most likely this is just more fake news. But again, I hope it's real. And a whole lot of other people probably feel the same way. Confirmation bias. But the bottom line is that the ghost of Kyiv's morale effects are real. It's a huge boost to these brave people standing up to Putin's aggression. All right, now on to sad news on the air war over Ukraine. Colonel Alexander Grey Wolf Oksenchenko was killed on February 25th in an air battle over Kyiv. He was a famed airshow pilot in the Su-27 Flanker aircraft. The guy came out of retirement when his country came under attack. Deservedly, he was given the title Hero of Ukraine by the President Volodymyr Zelensky right after his death. On other aviation news coming out of Ukraine, the world's largest plane, Mriya, or Dream in Ukrainian, was confirmed destroyed. Early rumors went out that it might have been destroyed, but then just as quickly the rumor was quelled that no, it's okay. But then 3 days into the fighting, the Ukrainian officials confirmed that the enormous aircraft was parked at the airfield near Kyiv when it was destroyed by Russians who had occupied the airfield. The news has not been confirmed by any other news sources other than the Ukrainian government, but it looks to be likely accurate. Ukrainian officials claim that they will make Russia pay for the over $3 billion to restore the aircraft. And I, for one, I'm fine with that. What about you? Let us know in the comments. If in fact it was destroyed by Russia, should they be held accountable for the aircraft? And, they certainly need to be held accountable for the death and other destruction that they have unleashed. By the way, Jack Sweeney, the teenager who has been giving Elon Musk fits with his jet tracking app, well, he's turned his power towards the conflict. He has now launched a new Twitter account that tracks the Russian oligarch planes. Okay, I have to say, that's awesome. The Russian oligarchs have been trying to move money, yachts, and planes, and is proving the saying, if you can't get them by tank, then maybe by bank. And it appears to be working. I get chewy down here. The oligarchs are starting to press Putin, and we'll see. Now let's talk about the air war over Kyiv. First up, defining the air warfare goals of first, air superiority and then air supremacy. Air superiority is to decisively control the airspace over the battlefield. Supremacy happens when one side controls all the aircraft over the battlefield. One news outlet, Vox, claims that the fight has gone badly for Russia, initially at least. On paper, it's not even close. Every key indicator, every item on the list tilts heavily into Russia's favor. Ukraine started with a reported 98 warplanes to Russia's thousands? Russia starts with superiority already in place. Supremacy was expected within the first few hours. And I think that many people on both sides expected that when Russia invaded, it would be fairly quick. It'd be over in maybe 48 hours. But these Ukrainians, outmatched, outgunned, have slowed the Russian military juggernaut. Why? Well, one U.S. pundit, Brett Friedman, believes that the simplest explanation is that the Russian military is simply just bad. An inept organization is trying to execute a poor plan. In a way, I kind of hope that this is so. It's still David versus Goliath, though, and how long the Ukrainian air can keep the Russians at bay from air supremacy is in serious doubt. I mean, even as early as posting this, it may change. No wonder when Biden offered President Zelensky safe refuge, he instead requested ammunition. The Ukrainians need fighter planes, and as of press time for this story, it's been a roller coaster ride after the European Union said they were sending fighter planes to only 48 hours later on March 1st saying that, the deal fell through. Ukrainian pilots had already been sent to Poland to pick up the airplanes, but now, they may have to return empty-handed. All right, so hopefully they will get combat aircraft soon and in time. And hopefully we'll see more than just one ghost of Kyiv. And lastly, I hope Russia will see its error and not only retreat, but restore. Thanks for watching. We're sponsored by Flying Eyes, where the code TakingOff, all caps, one word, will get you 10% off. And we're sponsored by Colton Mortgage, a residential mortgage company that's run by a fellow aviation person like us. Go to ColtonTakingOff.com to find out more. And remember, superior judgment trumps superior skills. We'll see you later.